Welcome to Central Lanes in Salamanca, New York. This is Summer BTC Live. Here are the top 4 finalists for tonight's Stepladder Finals. The number 3 seed from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Jon McDowell. His opponent in the first match, the number 4 seed from Ciccone, New York, Bill Swiat. The winner of that match moves on to take on a number 2 seed from Jamestown, New York, Ryan Colburn. And the winner of that match advances to our title match against our top seed from West Seneca, New York, Connor Nowak. Those are your 4 finalists for Summer BTC Live. And welcome everybody to Central Lanes in Salamanca, New York. This is Summer BTC Live, show 4 Stepladder Finals. We're glad to have you all with us. We've got 3 Stepladder Finals tonight for you all to watch. This is the first of 3. Traditional Beat the Champ format. The winner of the first show defends the championship on the second show. The winner of the second show comes back for the third show. I'm Joe Ciccone. Glad to have you with us. We've got live bowling for you here all night. 4 finalists on this show. These players have been bowling all day here in Salamanca. Many of you have watched our live stream. If this is the first time you've been with us, welcome. Or if you've been with us all day, welcome back. Let's start off tonight by taking a look at the lane conditions that these bowlers are bowling on. All day the players have been bowling on a pattern called Beaten Path. This is a 41-foot pattern, 5.71 to 1 ratio. It's been medium to low scores all day, and some of the reasons for that we're going to talk about a lot during tonight's show. This is a wood surface, which presents challenges compared to a synthetic surface. I know most people these days are more accustomed to the synthetic surface than the wood. There's some challenges just that are a part of Central Lanes here that are different than some bowling centers. This wood surface in particular has a lot of dark boards in the wood, and that is somewhat different than some centers that you might bowl in. It's something that we're going to talk about a lot throughout the day. This is a fresh pattern for this show. They are not going to be re-oiled for any of our Stepladder Finals tonight.
Yeah, you get 2 balls total, not 2 on each lane.
So you're going to see some transition. You're going to see players make adjustments throughout the day. You're currently watching the final practice shots of our 2 players in the opening match. That's between Bill Swiat and Jon McDowell. So we're going to get things set up for everyone to start, and we're going to have things underway. Again, welcome everybody. Thanks for being a part of the show. If you haven't been here before, this is an interactive show. We want you to all be a part in the chat. Jump in, questions, tell us where you're watching from, any of that good stuff. We're glad to have you here. We're getting set with a handshake, and as soon as Tim Friends, who is operating things for us out on the lanes, gets us set up, we're going to start with a handshake, and we're going to be ready to go. It is Bill Swiat and Jon McDowell. Bill Swiat on the left, Jon McDowell on the right. And it does appear that Jon McDowell is going to start this match. So here we go. 3-match Stepladder Finals coming to you live from Salamanca, New York. Parker Miller from Clyde is in the chat. Welcome, Parker. Brad watching from Youngstown, Ohio. Glad to have you all with us. Jon McDowell gets us started. Again, we want to talk a little bit about what we've got here at Central Lanes. So this is our second Summer BTC Live of this summer. This is a 12-lane bowling center. Particularly low ceilings here at Central Lanes. And so we've made some adjustments to our camera angles to give you as best of an angle as we can. We hope everybody enjoys the coverage. It is a little bit tighter than we might normally have on some of our shows, just to be expected. We've made the adjustments as needed to hopefully give you the best coverage we can for all of you viewers out there. And for certain, as we go throughout the shows, if you're enjoying our content, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to the channel. The likes and the subscribes, they help out the channel a ton and help us to be able to bring you this great bowling content as we are here live today. That is Bill Swiat with an opening strike out of the gate. 41 years old from Ciccone, New York. He has been a Beat the Champ winner on our TV shows. In fact, the last time we were here at Central Lanes in Salamanca, Bill was on the show here. I don't think he came away with one of the titles on those shows that I recall. He does, find this center to his liking. Current average he lists as 230, and a frequent competitor in our Beat the Champ events. Using urethane today. A little light on the left lane. Let's talk more about the lanes in particular here. If we can take a look from our camera 1 angle at the actual lanes themselves. The unique feature of central lanes, and it's a little more difficult to see on 7 and 8 than it is on lane 6 in particular. You can see, if you look just beyond the arrows, there are a lot of dark boards. That's a feature of this bowling center. For those of you that haven't bowled on wood, there are many bowling centers back in the day that where you would find this feature. On a wood lane, a dark board is a harder wood than the lighter colored boards. So a darker board, a harder board, causes a bowling ball of any sort, whether it be rubber all the way back into the day to all of the bowling balls of today. The harder wood causes the ball to skid off of it more. The ball just simply is not going to grip when the surface is slightly harder than another board. So at a lot of bowling centers, you can find clusters of dark boards, perhaps in the track or in some section of the lane that you can actually use as almost hold, the same way as you would use oil in the middle of the lane, because when the ball hits those boards, it's just simply not going to grip as much because they're harder. On a lane like that, on a wood lane like that, you can line up and use those boards to your advantage. Central Lanes has a relatively even distribution of dark boards all across the width of their lanes, to where it's almost a dark, light crisscross going across the lane. Good shot here by McDowell. So what that results in is almost what you could equate to some sort of a strip condition in terms of oil dry. And that's almost how you have to think of it, which is what causes this particular bowling center to be a bit of a challenge, even though we're on a 5.71 to 1 ratio, which at first glance you might think, oh, it's a little bit higher ratio. The scores today have not been all that high, simply because when you cross boards here, you can easily get into trouble. Changing pairs is difficult. And good example of that immediately. It just demands a higher level of shot making. And certainly a bit of an advantage for players that might be familiar with this center or a similar setup in other centers. I've thought all along here in our competitions, especially on the fresh, the advantage on these lanes can go to the player that's playing them more direct. It doesn't mean that they can't hook it. It just means you might want to keep your angles more square so that you're minimizing the amount of those dark boards that you have to cross to hit the pocket. So this is what we're going to look for throughout the day as we watch the competition here. Which players can navigate that the best? Those are the players that are going to win these matches. Bill Swiat's chosen to do it with urethane. I believe Jon McDowell is using a less aggressive reactive ball. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think these players, when they can, are going to try to avoid crossing a lot of boards. Swiat with a strike in the first, 2 spares. Welcome everybody in the chat. Gurn, I think is Gurn, how you say that, watching from Reno, Nevada. Welcome. Daryl Bricado, one of our competitors, says hi from Lancaster. Strike for Swiat there. J-Dub says, is this the first show final? This is. If you're watching as far as the title on YouTube, it says Show 4 Stepladder Finals. That is because this is the 4th show of the summer, and we title it that way so that our viewers can keep track if they're watching on demand. Good shot there from McDowell, ringing 10. Another player that those of you viewers out there are very familiar with. Jon McDowell has been on several of our shows. He made the Stepladder Finals in our first summer event at Rapids Bowling Center. Jen from Rapids on the stream, welcome. Again, this is meant to be an interactive live stream for everybody. So if you're out there watching, if you're enjoying our content, jump in the chat. If you got questions, we can do our best to answer them. We love to hear where everyone's watching for. Alex from East Amherst is on in the Buffalo area. $89 through 4 for McDowell. Swiat up and bowling in the 5th. 57 through 3. 12-pin deficit. Strike here, he can cut it down to 2 pins. Just over 150 viewers with us on the stream now. Thanks everybody for being with us. Let's get those likes up. Let's set a nice goal for our likes. Like shot there for Bill Swiat. Let's try to get our likes up to about 50 or so. We know some of you have already liked the earlier streams. These are, as far as YouTube, they consider these streams all separate. We do that on purpose so that those of you that are watching, and we know that some of you are not watching these live. You might not have been around to watch, and you're watching on demand. We're glad to have you also. If you are, jump down in the comments. Say hi, tell us where you're watching from. We make these 3 separate live streams so that YouTube correctly archives them for everybody that wants to watch them on demand. If you're watching live, there's nothing that you have to do when this live stream ends. It's going to automatically redirect you for the second show of the night. You can just stick with us all night. Nice shot there for Swiat, and he has taken the lead by 8. Jon McDowell from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also lists his current average as 230. Old high school in the Philadelphia area. Makes his home now up in the Western New York area. Trying to take that lead back. No, high through the nose, big split. Can be made. 3, 4, 6, 10. However, if he does not make it, Bill Swiat is going to have his lead stretched out on the bench. Doesn't get it. Swiat with 57 through 3. Strikes in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. McDowell now 115 in the 6th. $22-pin deficit now for McDowell. Trying to get things back in his direction here on the left lane. And cannot get the 7 to go. So early on, Bill Swiat is in good position to start this match. The Deacon from Muncie, Indiana is with us. Welcome to Deacon. We are slightly closer to the bowlers today than we were in Niagara Falls at our previous live stream. So best effort not to disrupt them best as we can. 3-bagger working for Swiat now. Two-pin advantage, stretches it to 32 if he could strike here in the 7th. And week 10, not unusual when you control the lane. Sometimes you give up a little bit of hit at the pocket, and certainly Bill is in control of this match, so not the worst to leave week 10 there. Albert from San Leandro, California is with us. Caddy from Tennessee is with us. We're almost up to 200 views. Those likes are getting up there. Thank everyone for that. We got an hour of bowling here on this live stream. Plenty of time to get those likes up there. Ring 10 now on the left lane for Swiat. Still, control of the pocket is important here today. We did not see a lot of big games out of the gate in any of our squads that were on the fresh. So controlling the pocket, he's going to be happy with that. Forcing McDowell to either put some pressure on him, or it's going to be a confident match, let's say, for Bill Swiat. Still a possible 225 for Jon McDowell. He's going to have to get it rolling here. Okay, we got action. Pretty much a must strike here for Jon McDowell in the ninth if he's going to have a chance to move on. Again, still 225 possible. Bill Swiat. That's could force Swiat to double somewhere in there. That's left. And can't get away with a big break there. So that max score now reduces to 205. If Bill Swiat stays clean, he's going to be in the 210s. So Bill has looked pretty solid out of the gate for the most part this match. One or two shaky shots early on. He's kind of locked it in since then. We've talked a lot about Bill on our TV shows. He is a one-hand no-thumber who essentially, I guess you could call him converted to a no-thumber. A little light, still no trouble. Bill, for a long time, was switching back and forth between thumb and no-thumb, and he would drill equipment accordingly for balls that he thought were going to work for him when he wanted to use his thumb. He drilled the thumb hole. If he thought it was a ball he was going to use more for the no thumb, he drilled it without a thumb. You know, as you all know, you have to use every ball, every hole in the ball now. So Bill actually drilled equipment to accommodate whichever way he thought he was going to play the lanes. And I think in even probably recent part of this year, he's kind of committed more to just the no thumb all the time. He certainly had some great showings here on our show, including this week, and I kind of think that he might have been more apt to go with the thumb in a urethane type look like he's using today, a time that he wanted to play more direct and try to control the lane. And I think this is probably a change for him, that he's just elected to just commit to this, have the ball change itself make the change he needs. This looks so hooked high, my goodness, for a split. I thought it looked good at first, and then it started to roll up. And this is his 10th frame, so not the time he wanted. McDowell can still strike out for 205. Swiat now with an open, where he to get 2 is going to finish at 200 even. Jon McDowell can win this match unless Bill were to somehow bounce this out with a double. So things have drastically turned. This is a pretty tough opening match between two bowlers who've been on a lot of shows. And he only gets 1. Not going to make a real big difference. McDowell still needs 2 strikes. So he has been given a chance, and what more can you ask for here? He has struck 2 of his 4 frames on this lane. He's going to need 2 strikes and 5 pins to win this match. Winner of this match advances to take on our number 2 seed from Jamestown, New York, Ryan Colburn, making his first appearance on this version of the show. Again, all these bowlers went through competition. Here's McDowell in the 10th. And not able to get it back. And despite the opening given to him by his opponent, it's going to be Bill Swiat that moves on to game number 2. I want to mention Jon McDowell did win our 12X Tech bonus this week for the 6-game combine between here and Rapids. So he took home a little bit of extra cash with that. However, it's Bill Swiat moving on, and players are now going to get ready for their next game and some practice. While they're doing that, let's put up one of our promos for you. I'd like to talk a little bit about opening weekend here for our Storm Beat the Champ, presented by Bowlers Mart Series. Our first event of the regular season is coming up in just 2 weeks, and that's going to be at ABC Gates Bowl in Rochester, New York. Our opening weekend is going to feature 3 days of competition. On Friday, July 24th, we've got an over-under doubles sweeper. If you're not familiar with what over-under doubles is, that simply means your doubles team has got to be made up of one player that's 50 years or older and the other player who is under 50. We've got a 4-game sweeper competition for those bowlers starting out the weekend. We have our qualifying for Beat the Champ on Saturday, July 25th. And then on Sunday, July 26th, we are going to tape 4 shows for those bowlers that make the shows there in Rochester, and that's going to be the start of our TV season for 2026-2027. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a great weekend there. We expect a big turnout and a lot of money. We've upped the prize funds for this season, more money for the bowlers to bowl for, and we're glad to be able to add that. Getting ready for match 2. Practice time now for our number 2 seed, Ryan Colburn. Bill Swiat walks around in the background. You see Ryan taking his practice shots. We had 3 rounds of qualifying today here at Central Lane. Started at 9:30 in the morning. Some of you may have been on our live stream for most of the day. We've been live from start to finish here. 9:30, 11:30, 1:30. Finals round at 4 p.m. Just to go over our format a little bit of how things work here. Each qualifying squad is an individual squad cut. We take 1 out of 5 in the qualifying round. They advance to the finals round, which was at 4 p.m. And then from 4 p.m. today, our top 10 bowlers make up the field for the 3 stepladder finals that you're watching here live from Salamanca, New York. We have the first show, which is the show you're watching now. Our top seed after that 4 p.m. qualifying round is the top seed of the first show, and that is Connor Nowak. Ryan Colburn, who is coming in for this match, he was the number 2 seed after our finals round. Those were the top 2 players throughout the day today, and so they are on the first show with a chance to try to take that first title and then move on to continue to defend in show 2 of the night, which is actually show 5 as far as how they are labeled on YouTube, and then show 6 after that. So we are on at 7 o'clock now. Our next show starts at 8:15, and then we're on again at 9:30. Again, if you're watching with us live, nothing that you need to do. The stream does stop at the end of each show so that we can correctly archive these shows for YouTube for the people that are watching on demand. Nothing you need to do. Your link is going to automatically redirect you to the next show, so you can sit back, take a break from your smart TV or your mobile phone, wherever you're watching, and get ready for the next show once the first one ends. Tim Friends is getting things going on the approaches there, starting out with a handshake, perhaps some Rochambeau. It does appear that it's going to be Ryan Colburn who has the decision here, has elected to start this match on the left lane. And there's our handshake. 44 years old is Ryan Colburn from Jamestown, New York. southern area of Western New York. Southern area of Western New York. Can you combine those two phrases? Hi. I mean, I guess I just did. Closer down, for those of you that aren't familiar, Salamanca is about an hour south of Buffalo, going towards the northwestern Pennsylvania way. And wow, that's not the way you want to be greeted. 7:10 to start. This is current average is 232. Those are 2 leagues currently. High career series of 857, and it's promptly greeted with a 7:10. And that one isn't made all that often. It's going to be an open to start, and again, Bill Swiat is a tough competitor. Give him a little bit of an extra edge to start a match, and could definitely make a difference here. A little light. Shoulders a little forward over the knees there on that one to me. 2-8. Should get out of the first frame with a spare and a lead. MIDI OB67. I'm not sure how your screen name is to be English is difficult all day today. MIDI OB67 pumps in and respects these players. Brad coming up for Rochester, I believe, is what he's talking about. Glad to hear that, Brad. We got Brent cheering for Ryan. If you're out there with us and watching, again, jump in the chat, get with us. This is meant to be an interactive broadcast. We want to hear from you. Second frame now for Swiat. 11 pins to the good after just one frame. And a light hit. So a few light hits. He went high in the 10th. Certainly, there's no reason not to continue. This is not the easiest of lane conditions that we're blowing on. I think that when we were in Niagara Falls, the pattern was the ratio numbers may have been lower than they are here. I think the scores have been lower overall here, and you know, we take these things into consideration when we determine what types of patterns, and we do look to have a variety of lane conditions across our Beat the Champ events. We try to take all those things into consideration, and because of the lane surface here and the unique challenges of this bowling center, we thought that a slightly higher ratio was going to produce the range of scores that we kind of wanted. You know, we want these players to get rewarded for good shots, and if they don't make good shots, then they aren't necessarily rewarded. That's kind of what we look for here. Good shot back on track there from Ryan. Coming up on 250 viewers in the live stream. Hope you're all enjoying. We know that you're all over, all different parts of the country, watching our show. Again, we are back in the fall with 32 weeks of our Storm Beat the Champ presented by Bowlers Mart television product. We air in New York on MSG Network, the same network where you watch the NBA champion Knicks, the Buffalo Sabres, and then we archive our shows on YouTube. A nice double there for Ryan. And we're glad to have all of our viewers from wherever you're watching from tonight or any of the other times that we have shows for you. We got an even match now, thanks to the double from Ryan Colburn. And Bill Swiat's going to have to look for some adjustments out there on the lane. I don't know that the shot that went light on lane 8 prior to this one was his best effort. I think if he's a little more steady, he's probably just fine on this lane. And looks good there. I think the left lane is the tougher lane for Bill. I think if Bill executes a good shot on lane 8, he's in good shape. I think he's caught in the switches just a bit on this left lane, where I don't think his troubles have been execution related. I think he split in the 10th frame against McDowell. I think he made the move. Again, he doesn't get any more practice on this pair in between matches. He can go loosen up or stay loose on the alternate pair. Only his opponent gets practice shots before this match. So he's on the fly making these moves. Perhaps a little softer, gets the ball to roll up. He doesn't like that one. This is the head pin. So this is definitely the trouble lane for Bill Swiat. And Ryan Colburn, the higher seed, had the choice. And by choosing to start that match, he has forced Bill to finish on what is turning into his bad lane. Fourth frame for the spare. 1, 2, 4. He hasn't exactly been dialed in on the pocket, so this is not the easiest of spare to make when you don't have the pocket. And just gets it. You can guarantee he wasn't trying to hit the middle of the headpin on that spare. Marion watching from Western Washington State. Thanks for being with us, Marion. Biz Shorty from Philly. Glad everybody's with us here tonight. Ryan Colburn double up now in fourth frame. And light hit, avoids the split, just the 2-4. Loses 2 pins and count there. So he's finds himself now trailing by 2. It's early. These matches are with the lane conditions that we're bowling on here. I don't know that we're going to see bowlers just run away and hide from each other in these matches. Expect a lot of these kind of medium scoring, grind them out matches. Who can make the best shot in the 10th frame? Who can make the clutch double in the middle of the game when they have a chance to turn 1 strike into 2? Those are the things that are going to make the difference here. I definitely think that Ryan has the better ball reaction in this match halfway through, even though Bill has been on this pair for a game already. Light again, just the 2-4. Central Lanes is back hosting a TV event this year on our schedule. We're going to be back here in December. If you're in the area, or even, good spare there, even anywhere in driving distance and you want to compete, be on our shows, very simple. The only eligibility rule that we have for our shows is that if you have ever won a PBA Tour national title or a PWBA Tour national title, you are not eligible to compete. Everybody else, come on out and join us. We have all different bowlers, all variety, ages, smart, fun, certified, so that if you're a junior bowler, you can bowl for scholarship money. We have many who do that. Ball change here for Swiat. Through the nose. In fact, I think from hearing, talking to Bill earlier today, I think the ball he went to is a new piece of equipment he has just recently drilled from one urethane to another. Kind of searching a little bit. However, if he can stay close, stay clean, get into a situation where he can make that clutch shot, that could be enough to win these matches. It's not always about 250s and 260s. This is, as Bo Burton used to say, match play competition. The score is immaterial, just beat your opponent. And I don't think Bill cares. I don't think either of these players care what that number is, so long as it's at least 1 pin better than the person they're bowling. Two-pin match. Both bowlers on spares. Swiat has the edge. This looks better. Now it's up to Ryan to try to match him to avoid going further behind in count. Yes. Seventh frame now for Colburn. He could take a lead here if he can strike. Puts him up 8 pins. This one is left to target. And this is what we have here on this lane condition. It is, do not be deceived by that 5.71 to 5.71 to 1 ratio that we talked about. There is not a lot of mistake room out here. One, 3, 6, 9. The fact that he was on a strike means he doesn't lose any count, which could be critical when doubles are this difficult to come by. And that's a good spare. Marion says congratulations to Liz Johnson, of course from the Western New York area here, and you don't have to be from Western New York to know how great Liz is. What a career that she's had. She's won at every level, every organization, continues to win on the PBA 50 Tour. She is absolutely has earned her accolades. Chance now for a double for Swiat. Oh, makes a good shot there. Bringing 10. Still holds on to a 2-pin lead. Stay clean. Bill is going to finish this match first. A lot of players prefer to finish matches first so that they can post their score and let their opponent try to defeat them. It's the way he won his first match against Jon McDowell. However, that's not the way to win a lot of matches, especially when they're this tight. So the open frame in the 7th means that Swiat no longer has the lead. It's now a 10-pin match. Ryan Colburn has the edge. Tony McCoy watching with us. Hi, Tony. Thanks for being with us. Trying to get back on track here. More confident shot. Another light hit. So this one is waiting for Ryan to step up and take. Even though he had the lead, Bill hasn't really been able to convert it into much, and the mistake in the 7th, when it's difficult to get a double, single pin spares, not converting them is gonna make things difficult for you. No trouble with the 2-pin. High school bowler was Ryan Colburn in Falconer, New York. Considers his biggest achievement rolling a 300 and an 828 at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. Light shaker. 8th frame strike now for Colburn. Swiat off the sheet can still bowl 205. Colburn, if he stays clean, he's in the 190s. Strike here really puts the heat on. He likes it. And that's going to make it incredibly difficult for Bill Swiat. Even if Swiat can strike out. Still some work, though. Still some work. This match is not over. High. No trip 4. As Shorty says, his wrist hurts watching Bill. It definitely takes a lot of strength to be a no-thumb bowler, a one-handed no-thumb bowler. I know if those of you who watched any of the videos from Mark Baker, he talks about Tom Doherty and the strength that it takes him to do what he does. Bill makes it work for him. It's not the easiest thing to do. Possible 194 for Bill Swiat if he could strike out in the 10th frame here. It's going to force Colburn to mark in the 10th frame. If Colburn were to go 9 out, it would be a score of 192. Bill Swiat can still bowl 194. So we saw Jon McDowell have a chance to defeat Bill in the 10th. Couldn't get it done. It's Bill's job to make his opponent do some work. And that's not going to do it. So it looks like it's going to be a 3rd place finish here for Bill Swiat. I believe this is the exact same split he left in the 10th frame of game 1, in fact. A game of 170. Just keeping it on the lane is going to be enough for Ryan. And Bill's taking in a bit of ribbing from the crowd back here as he makes his way out. Sure, we're going to see Bill again soon. He's a frequent competitor in our events. He's still hearing it from the crowd, though. And 7 split is not what he wanted. However, quick math should be plenty as soon as the score comes back up for us. Absolutely is plenty. He's got 186 even if he gets none of these. I'm sure he would have liked one more shot to perhaps try something that he isn't going to get because of that split. Nonetheless, it's a win for Ryan Colburn. We're going to have a match between our number 1 and number 2 qualifiers today, between Ryan and Connor Nowak. Going to be some practice time for Connor Nowak, and then we're going to get into our championship match. Let's go ahead and give you a look at what's up next here. We've got 2 more shows tonight coming up next when this show is done. It's going to be show 5, Stepladder Finals here, Summer BTC Live. Just to explain a little bit about what Summer BTC Live is that we have a regular season of 32 weeks for Storm Beat the Champ presented by Bowlers Mart television shows. And then we have live summer events exclusively on our YouTube channel. And this is the 2nd event of the summer. The first one was at Rapids Bowling Center. This is our 4th of 6 Stepladder final shows in our Summer BTC Live events this summer. And again, this is classic Beat the Champ format, meaning that if you win a show, you are the new champion, and you return as the top seed on the next show until somebody beats you. And we saw Connor Nowak. He won one of our shows at Rapids Bowling Center when we were live in June in a great match against Michael Obernesser, Michael Obernesser also was here for our qualifier today. Did not make any of our shows. He's become someone who seeks out our events, and expect to see more of him throughout the season. And I think there's a good chance you see him on television as we go through this year. Connor has been an improving player throughout our events, and really not a surprise that he's back again for this show. Why don't we take a look at the MSG promo for everybody out there, just to remind you all about our actual television show. For those of you that are in the Western New York area, you can catch Storm Beat the Champ presented by Bowlers Mart. Our show premieres each Saturday on the MSG network. They've been great to us with the amount of re-airs that they've showed us on each of our shows. And we then archive our shows on Tuesdays on YouTube, here on our YouTube channel, for those of you that are outside of the area that are also watching. So again, this fall is going to be the start of our new season, 32 more weeks on MSG. Practice shot still coming here from Connor Nowak. A few more shots here for Connor Nowak as we get started into our championship match. Coming up next, Willago, new subscriber to the channel. Welcome, Willago. Glad to have all of you on with us. We've got our little notification that pops up with the subscribers. I didn't know if that was functioning tonight. It appears that it is. That's good news. We are set for the championship match. Connor Nowak had the choice, and it appears that Connor has chosen to allow Ryan to start the match on the left lane. Here comes our handshake, and let's roll, everybody. We're on lanes 7 and 8. 12-lane bowling center at Central Lanes. This is the same TV pair we used when we were here in season 1. And light on the left lane for 1. It's difficult to kind of pin down, I guess pun intended. It's difficult to kind of pin down which lane these players prefer. I don't know that anything is really emerging, and we know that Bill didn't like the left lane. Check out Connor Nowak thinks of this pair. 22 years old, from West Seneca, New York. Competed in college for Lawrence Tech, one of our many Lawrence Tech players that we've seen here. Shot through the nose. Former high school competitor in the Buffalo area here before he went on to college. I've got to put in a petition to all of those who use interchangeable thumbs. We need to get everybody that uses a spare ball to get a second interchangeable thumb for their spare balls. No offense to Connor. I see this from everybody. Instead of having to wait for the first ball to come back to switch that ball to a spare shot, I gotta line that up. Who do I speak to about this one? I'm sure there's a reason. That's why they're out there, and I'm sitting here. Connor Nowak says that he does not bowl in any leagues. I don't know that that's very normal for anybody. I suppose if you want to just focus on tournament play, and perhaps there's a big difference between leagues and tournaments. Connor wants to focus exclusively on this type of competition, on these types of shots. I don't know. Could be something to that. Second frame for Colburn. Okay. Better shot. Probably should have struck. Still, better shot. Gauge calibration technician is what Ryan Colburn lists as his occupation. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what that means. Gauge calibration, I guess that means he calibrates gauges. That's the best I got, everybody. Perhaps somebody in the chat knows what that means. There are probably some very smart people out there watching in the chat. Perhaps even with knowledge of whatever that is that he listed. I do know this. He listed his bowling idol as Amuleto Monicelli. Good shot there on the left lane. Nowak now with an early lead. Just one pin. It's a close match. Over 300 viewers on the stream. I want to thank everyone for being here. Better shot there after going high in the first. This is a player that, from watching him in his other appearances, I think that Connor is someone who, once he gets kind of comfortable out there, his competition level really goes up a notch. And I don't think that's unusual. I definitely think that you notice that a lot in his play. He's got a fantastic game. Good shot there, too. A little farther left, circling it a little bit more with reactive. Seems to have a nice look. You know, the fact that he got to wait 2 matches before coming in, and perhaps the lanes have developed a little bit, and a little bit carry down has blended out what we have out here to play on. It's a 3-bagger early. Connor, I believe, had the highest game of the day today with 280. Trouble there. One, 2, 6, 8, 10. I'm gonna call spare. Ha! I love it when that works out. Certainly important to keep himself in reach. He didn't want to give away any more pins there than he had to. That was a very nice conversion at an important time in this match, even though it's early. An open there to an opponent who's just getting comfortable is not what you want to do. Except for he backs it up with another washout. Can he do it twice in a row? No, not this time. So he avoids the open in the fourth, can't avoid the open in the fifth. Seven-pin lead for Connor Nowak on 3 in a row. Strike here makes it 47 and gives him firm control of this match. And not what he was looking for. Avoids trouble. The ball was certainly left. Shouldn't be any issue here. And, jeez. And I guess that is an issue. Not ideal. Lead that was 37 is now down to 24 with an unforced error. Kicks out the weak 10 there. Hopes to just kind of put that spare behind him. Colburn appears to be going for a ball change here after 2 consecutive shots that missed the head pin. And he's going to like that ball change. Again, this is championship match of the first live stepladder of the night. You can stick with us. Each stepladder is its own stream so that YouTube can archive them correctly for all the viewers. If you're watching live, you're going to be automatically redirected to the new stream. Even if this one goes off the air, you're probably going to have some sort of a thumbnail for just a bit as we set up for our next show. That ball doesn't get back. 2-pin on the left lane. Still 24 pins. Connor has the chance to stretch that when he gets up. Ryan is going to have to hope that he is not in a worse situation when he steps back up on the lane. Certainly he's got to cover his spare here first. Does so, no problem. Through 6 for Ryan Colburn. Nowak has 107 in the 5th. Strike up in the 6th. 24 pins. Stretches it to 34 if he strikes here. More through the target here. And still a little high. Gets the trip 4. That double is going to be important for Connor as he attempts to win his second of the summer. Nice shot there for a three-bagger. The spare error may have just been a blip in this game for Connor. And he's turned it around nicely. It's must time now for Ryan Colburn if he's going to have any chance in this game. He could still strike out for 213. Good shot there. Biz Shorty asked, is every event held at the same location? No, it is not. Biz Shorty, we actually do have a slate of different centers that are host centers that are part of our Beat the Champ program. We were at Rapids Bowling Center in Niagara Falls, New York in June. This is our second of 2 summer live events, and then our regular season starts up in 2 weeks in Rochester at ABC Gates Bowl. After that, we go back to the Rapids Bowling Center in Niagara Falls, followed by Malwitz's Island Lanes in Grand Island. Then we go on to Doug Kent's Rose Bowl Lanes in Newark, New York. After that, we go to, off the top of my head, trying to call this back up, we go to Cherry Laurel Lanes in Amherst, New York. Then we go to a new host of Lighthouse Lanes in Oswego, New York, Bob Hofer, who was on with us in our chat earlier in the show. We have a full schedule. If you are interested in learning about our schedule or where we bowl, Facebook is the place to go. You can just search for us by name at Storm Beat the Champ presented by Bowlers Mart. It is the page with the red image at the top of the screen. And we've got all of our events listed there, all of our event listing, full details, and what you need to do if you want to bowl in any of our events. We're here, and we're ready for all tournament bowlers to come out and join us. High on this lane again for Connor. Again, should be a simple spare. Has this game in hand. Even if he were to not make this spare, he would still have a score in the 190s, and Ryan can only get to the 190s, so this is going to be Connor Nowak. In fact, that is mathematical. Connor Nowak is your winner, and he is our champion of Show 4. Connor is going to return as our defending champion and take on a new cast of bowlers, and that show is coming up at, scheduled at 8:15. As soon as this show's over, our next slate of players is going to begin their practice. They get a 10-minute practice period. During that time, we bring down the stream so that we can start it up with live action and have it archived correctly on YouTube. Connor's going to attempt to make his run as far as he can go today. 10th frame now, and a very nice opening game. With the exception of the missed spare, he's still going to be in minimum in the 220s. So certainly he has announced that he's not going to be an easy one to beat tonight. This right there puts him in the 230s. Very nice. Ryan's going to finish out his match on lane 8. Do the same on the left lane. It's going to be a 234 for Connor Nowak, and a nice win in Show 1. Ryan finishing out his match, and I'm certain that we can consider that a left-handed 0 according to rules. Not a problem. It's a victory for Connor Nowak. Connor is our champion, and he's going to return next show, try to defend that title. And it's Show 5 Stepladder Finals. That's going to be coming up next here on our YouTube channel. This stream's going to go down in about 10 or perhaps 15 minutes, once the next group of players completes their practice, we're going to get started with our next show exclusively here on our YouTube channel. It's Summer BTC Live, and Connor Nowak is your first winner of the night.